Asia, it's my fourth year living here in Busan as an undergraduate student at Gyeongsang University. Let me first describe what my hometown looks like. Jakarta, Indonesia is surrounded by beautiful oceans, exotic temples, and strong dialects. Does any of this ring a bell? Yes. The descriptions also fit very well with Busan. 7 beaches, attractive temples like Haedong Yeonggongsa, and we can't forget the famous dialect Busan 사투리. And that's when I knew Busan was going to be my second home. I grew up so much in Busan that I even mentor other students from Indonesia to help them with their Korean and life in Busan. When I teach them Korean, I sometimes see myself using 사투리. Looking back, I remember struggling to understand what my professors were saying because they were using 찐 Busan 사투리, you know, the real Busan dialect. But I think that's what makes Busan more of my home. Through the dialect, I feel the warm jong that no other city can mimic. Global City Busan. We are in it together. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM 부산 영어방송.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
This morning, I am going to begin our program with a very heavy topic. It's a tough issue, drunk driving. So according to the National Police Agency, there were slightly over 11,000 cases of driving under the influence or DUI traffic accidents in South Korea in the year 2024 last year. This is a dip from the year prior. However, nearly half of all fatal hit-and-run accidents in the past 5 years were caused by drunk or unlicensed drivers. So although Korea's drunk driving laws, on paper at least, are not considered lenient, critics argue that the most persistent problem may be the high rate of repeat offenses. The rate of recidivism, that means repeat offenses, for drunk driving is 44% according to multiple sources. Question is this: are we doing enough as a society to shun this behavior? I'm Catherine. This is Morning Wave in Busan on Wednesday, November 19th on BEFM 부산영어방송. Good morning, Wavers. I hope you're all doing well and you survived, a very cold day yesterday. It's going to be another cold one today as well. We'll get into the details of our weather report coming up a little while later. So these days, K-culture has been getting so much attention around the world, right? But there is a negative aspect of Korean society that's also been garnering attention: drunk driving. So we've covered this story, the accident involving a Japanese mother and daughter who were hit by a drunk driver, which resulted in the death of the mother. So the son of the deceased mother has been calling for attention on this issue over social media. This happened right after another fatal drunk driving accident in Gangnam, where a Korean-Canadian male was killed and a Korean woman also seriously injured. And these cases, they have been catching the international spotlight. And unfortunately, this isn't new in South Korea. Following the death of a young law student and conscripted soldier, you remember that story, Yoon Chang-ho, back in 2018. It happened in Haeundae. The laws were revised to strengthen punishment for drunk drivers that caused fatal accidents. But despite this, drunk driving continues. Specifically, over 96,000 cases that were, detected last year. That's according to police reports. The Korea Road and Traffic Authority system shows that drunk drivers caused, once again, 11,000 accidents last year, killing 138 people and injuring over 17,000. And despite the heightened laws, the actual sentences that have been doled out are quite a bit lower, usually 8 years for fatal cases that come under the Supreme Court sentencing guidelines. And this has been a point that has baffled people from other countries, and I also say from within Korea as well, really puzzled about why the leniency. So South Korean netizens have commented that the country almost, quote unquote, kind of deserves this embarrassment, that they wish this would be a motivator for the courts to impose harsher punishment. One netizen has dubbed this phenomenon the K-drunk driving. Not a good look, right? We don't want to be known as that. And yes, these are the eye-opening realities, and hopefully this will be a real wake-up call for not just change on paper or in the books, as they say, but, with the sentences that are doled out, we're going to have to wait and see. All right, now we are going to change the mood completely. We're going to go back to your school days. Have you ever, or did you ever skip a class, or maybe doze off during a very kind of boring teacher, professor, during a specific class? 자, 나의 학창 시절 종종 졸거나 땡땡이 친 수업 혹은 선생님 이었다. So we want to know all about your school days. I am sure at least once you've dozed off or you forgot, in air quotes, to go to class. I hope we have no students right now. I hope students aren't listening to this. So we want to hear all about it. Send in your stories to BFM's live stream, live chat on YouTube. Go to the YouTube platform and type in BEFM or 부산영어방송 to find our channel. And then you can subscribe, log in and chat with other waivers from your phone, pound 9050, shop 9050. That's going to cost you 100 won. You can also reach me for free through KakaoTalk. So it's the same thing there. You got to type in BEFM or 부산영어방송. Add us as a friend first, and then you can send in your messages and photos if you like for free. The ways you can tune into Morning Wave in Busan, on the radio if you're in Busan, 90.5 or 103.3 FM. And like I said, we're streaming live on YouTube right now. If you haven't checked us out, it's pretty interesting, I think. Also, we have a very lively chat room that you can chime in and, interact with other people as well. You can watch us again at your leisure. We're available on the BEFM app and also the Papang app. Looking ahead to our morning, though, on this hump day, we have Now and Next with Lian. That's in hour number 1. In hour number 2, we have Work in Progress with Jennifer. And then our special interview. Well, child abuse. This is another tough topic. We often hear the phrase, things like, it takes a village to raise children. And, the children are our future. However, as we observe the World Day for the Prevention of Child Abuse, which happens to be today, the 19th, we do want to raise awareness and highlight the importance of creating a safe environment for our children. So that's coming up in hour number 2. I'll be back with News Overview. It's now 7:07 and this is News Overview. South Korea wins annulment in Lone Star dispute. An international dispute settlement arbitrator has ruled in favor of South Korea and the case against private equity fund Lone Star over its 2012 sale of the Korea Exchange Bank, according to Prime Minister Kim Min-seok yesterday. South Korea and UAE declare 100-year partnership. President Lee Jae-myung and United Arab Emirates President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan met for a summit on Tuesday local time and adopted a joint declaration on deepening bilateral ties for a 100-year partnership. Seoul says it bears no malintent toward North Korea. The presidential office said yesterday that South Korea has no hostile intent toward the North, following Pyongyang's announcement of the Seoul-Washington fact sheet on trade and security agreements. Men's national football team beats Ghana 1-0. The South Korean men's national football team finished their final match for 2025 with a 1-0 win against Ghana at Seoul World Cup Stadium last night. UN Security Council approved Trump's Gaza plan. The United Nations Security Council passed a U.S. drafted resolution of President Donald Trump's 20-point plan for Gaza, including the establishment of an international stabilization force. And this was News Overview. It's time for Now in Busan. We have Sejin in the studio. Let's check out some local news. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you surviving the cold weather? Are you okay?
I'm not okay.
It's so cold.
Yeah, it's so cold. And
It is.
Yeah, I'm shivering all the time.
Oh, okay.
I saw you wear a padded jacket today.
I did because yesterday I did not. And I regretted it. I saw everybody else in their warm jackets and said, today I'm going to bust out the padding for the first time this season.
Fair
However,
enough. Yes.
it's so like constricting, you know? It's like padding, it's on the thicker side and there's like, fur like around the hood.
Yeah.
And every time I put on my backpack,
Yeah.
I gotta like, I don't know. It's just, it's cumbersome. But anyhow,
Yeah.
I digress. Let's talk about our text topic. Have you ever skipped a class or dozed off during class?
All the time.
Not even a breath. All the time. Really?
That's what young people can do. And I have to enjoy my youth through it. But I don't promote doing this.
Of course.
That's just my personal experience.
Of course, we do not.
Don't listen to me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, but I always don't relish the thought of studying science and the Korean. So I would just not doze off, just sleep.
See, it's like, I get you, but I don't because it's like, okay, this is going to really seem incredulous, like unbelievable. But from, as long as I can remember, I dozed off in class one time in my entire life.
Wow.
And I remember it was 10th grade English class, and it was just one day because the night before I had been sick. And so it's like, I know no one's going to believe me, but, you can call my teachers if they're still alive and find out if it's true. Oh, bless their souls. I hope they're all still alive, but 아직 살아계시겠죠? So it's kind of like, I was kind of, I don't know why I was so uptight and like I felt like I had to always be like awake and alert, always in the front row, like sitting with my eyes like, anyhow. So we're going to jump into our local news because I just shared so much information about myself. There is growing concern about how much Busan is spending on buses and the subway, right?
Yes, financial support for buses and the subway in Busan has gone up more than 35% in just 4 years. That's according to 5 local civic groups who held a press briefing yesterday.
Yes. And so in terms of that number, it is quite a jump though, right?
Right. It jumped from 495.6 billion won in 2020 to 671.3 billion won last year.
Sure.
So over 1.7 trillion won more. But ridership share was 44.6, just barely back to the 2019 level, which is before COVID.
Right.
So the city is paying more, but the system isn't doing better. and the citizens are paying more as well. In October 2023, bus fares were raised by 29%, subway fares by 11%, and it made Busan the most expensive city in Korea for public transport.
Oh, that is not a good look. And the accessibility side, not great either, right?
Right. Only 36.4% of buses are low floor, below the national average and far behind Seoul's 66.7%. They are calling for external reviews of standard transport costs and full transparent accounting. And they want the subsidy system changed from per bus to per kilometers cost. There's also criticism about how bus companies operate.
So the civic groups are basically saying maybe the current system not sustainable?
Exactly. They say the current semi-public model cannot address these issues.
I see. Well, we'll see what happens on this front because public transportation is so important for everybody here. All right, next up, Busan is gearing up for another round of public institution relocations.
Yep, the city is preparing strategies for the government's second phase relocation of Seoul-based public institutions. They held a joint meeting yesterday, reviewed recent government trends and responses from other cities in order to refine Busan's second phase relocation plan.
I see. And what are the target sectors?
They discussed candidate institutions in finance, maritime, and film, media, areas covered in phase one, basically, and explored additional agencies that match Busan's future growth.
Yes, and I hear there was some research that was also shared.
Yes, the Busan Research Institute presented findings from its study on the need to attract institutions for relocation and what impact it would have. And the city have had a dedicated relocation task force since 2023. An official said Busan was top rated among all innovation cities during the first relocation.
Yes.
And will ensure the second phase goes ahead smoothly later this year.
I see. Thanks for letting us know about this story. Next, there's another major case involving these overseas scam groups.
Yep. 20 members of the group that laundered money for so-called Cambodian reading room scam networks have been arrested. Police say the group laundered huge sums for fraud rings based in Cambodia and the Philippines. Busan Jungbu Police arrested 48 people in total, including the alleged ringleader, and detained 20 of them.
I see. And what exactly were they doing?
According to police, the group ran a laundering network in Seoul, supplied bank account under borrowed names to stock investment reading room scammers overseas, and set up fake gift voucher companies in Seoul and Gyeonggi. They disguised transactions as legit voucher trades and laundered 22.9 billion won, which they then passed on to overseas scam operators.
I see. And how did the police catch them?
They raided the group's hideout in Gangnam Hotel and seized nearly 395 million won.
Yes.
They're still tracking others as well. Police say they're tracing 3 suspects who fled abroad and are working to recover as much of the criminal process as possible.
I see. So once again, another facet of the whole overseas scam ring story. All right. Now, Busan is rolling out some winter support for older residents, correct?
Yep, the city says is providing winter protection items for vulnerable elderly residents to help them prepare for cold season. Using 60 million won from its disaster relief fund, the city started distributing blanket, underwear, and padded vest to 3,477 seniors across 16 districts and counties since yesterday, and until it will run until 25th.
Yes, and it's not just about like handing out the items, right?
Yes, they will deliver the items, check in on the seniors, and share cold weather health guidance as they deliver the items. Busan does this every year using the same fund to support seniors during both heat waves and cold spells. And back in June, they provided fans and summer blanket to 2,859 seniors with 80 million won from the fund.
I see. And of course, we want all citizens to be warm during this cold winter. So thank you for all the local news. We'll check in with you tomorrow. Thank you, Sejin.
Anytime. Thank you.
All right. I'll be back with your traffic and weather.
Good morning.
Good morning.
굿모닝입니다.
Good morning.
좋은 아침입니다.
Morning wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan. Major news, local buzz,
and expert takes. It's all here on Morning Wave in Busan. Brighten up your morning commute with Morning Wave in Busan.
Morning Wave in Busan.
It is now 7:18. It's time for your traffic report. First up, let's talk about the Dongso overpass. It looks busy from Pumnikor ramp to the old Kaegum tollgate. Also backed up on Mandakdero from Sukdong intersection to Deokjeon intersection. And it's congested on Chungjangdero from pier number 5 to pier number 4. It's also slow on Luno Samsungdero from Myeongji ramp to Shino Bridge. Currently, it is 2 degrees Celsius under clear skies. It's going to go up just a tad, up to 11 degrees. What does that mean? It's still really cold. Below freezing in many parts of the country, and afternoon highs will also be colder than average. The wind chill bringing down the real field temperatures in parts of the central and Gyeongsang regions. Will see temperature differences between the low and a high. We're talking difference of 15 degrees. So please bundle up, take care of your health. This was your traffic and weather. It's time for Top Stories. We have Haley in the studio. Let's say good morning first. Hey.
Good morning.
Yay, yay. So let's go back to your school days. Did you skip classes? Did you doze off?
Are we talking high school or college?
Either or which both?
Okay, because high school, no, I
Yeah.
was you and you were me. And funny, 10th grade sociology class, yes, I dozed off during a movie because I also took a 6 a.m. swim class, PE class, because I wanted to get that out of the way so I could take more academic classes. So uptight. But freshman year of college hits, and then I went to school in Seattle, and I looked it up. It rains 150 days out of 365, and you know when it rains and you have an 8:30 class that you had to sign up for because it was a prerequisite, you're like, pass.
But I mean, it's so tempting, but it's like, I don't know. I just went.
You want even in college, even when you're not. Wait, you commuted.
I dormed.
You dormed.
And then I went back home.
Oh, right. Okay, I know.
Yeah.
With roommate issues. Not like the roommate, but then roommate.
Yeah. Yes. Anyhow, we're going to jump into our first story. Let's talk about this major story involving the Lone Star case. It has finally wrapped up, and this is like, it's been drawn out, 20 years?
Extensive and expensive.
Right.
So this was a complete victory as announced by the Prime Minister last night for South Korea in this 2 decades-long battle with the U.S. private equity firm Lone Star. So results first, South Korea will have to pay nothing in compensations to Lone Star.
Yes, and this is such a long saga. I'm thinking some of our listeners probably weren't even born. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. How did it begin?
Right. So when did it begin? 2003. So yeah, show of hands. Right. So Lone Star, which is an American private equity fund, it buys banks or bonds, so basically bad debt at a low price, and then they actively sell off the assets to make profit.
Right.
So back in 2003, it bought the majority share, a little over 51% of the Korea Exchange Bank. Some of our listeners may have had accounts there, 외환은행. But this is where trouble starts because Lone Star Funds is not a bank in the traditional sense. Korean law actually prohibits sale of controlling shares in a Korean bank to Lone Star unless that Korean bank was in financial distress.
Oh, so question then is, was the Korea Exchange Bank under financial distress?
I mean, that was under dispute back then because it had definitely struggled since the Asian financial crisis, but then who didn't? It was kind of the issue. So was it in financial distress? And then there were accusations of the financial authorities allegedly selling off the Korea Exchange Bank for cheap. So ultimately, Lone Star did end up buying the majority shares at 1.3 trillion won. Later, 9 years later, sold those shares to Hana Financial at 3.9 trillion won, so making massive profits.
Okay, so some people might be wondering, a sale was made. Why the dispute?
Exactly. So for Lone Star's perspective, they made the sale, they bought it, sold it off, made money. What's wrong?
Right.
Well, the timing was what they took issue with because during this period, investigations by the South Korean authorities continued between actively 2005 and 2007. And because of this, the Financial Supervisory Service, they refused to approve Lone Star's sale of KEB to the Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation, or HSBC, because they were still waiting on a court ruling. So essentially, that ended up with HSBC giving up on the sales back in 2008. Again, Lone Star ended up selling the shares to Hana Bank much later in 2012. So Lone Star, they filed a dispute settlement to the International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes, ICSID, for $4.6 billion or 6.8 trillion won, saying that the South Korean government sitting on it led to their financial losses.
Yes, and this indeed was a very drawn-out process.
Right. Even the legal process was long, 13 years. So in August 2022, the ICSID ruled that the South Korean government must pay Lone Star $216.5 million plus interest. And that, by the way, in perspective, it was only 4.6% of what Lone Star had, claimed for.
Okay.
But still, massive amounts. However, Lone Star appealed the case because only, a fraction of its settlement, its claims was agreed upon. But then South Korea also appealed the case, and we actually asked for this case to be annulled, basically struck down or canceled.
Yes.
Because there were procedural flaws.
Okay.
So now, after a 2-year-long deliberation, it brings us to last night. ICSID ruled to annul the case, so it's basically canceled, cementing the win for South Korea. As for why, we don't know. There's apparently a 120-page ruling that the Justice Ministry is combing through right now. They're going to hold a press conference, press briefing, perhaps later today to explain. So once we have the reason, I'll bring that to you.
All right. Well, thanks for going over the backdrop and how we got here. Moving on, let's get the latest from President Lee Jae-myung's trip to the United Arab Emirates.
Right. So President Lee Jae-myung sat down with the UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan on a state visit to the country. So during their opening statements, President Lee emphasized firm trust, respect, and a spirit of brotherhood to firmly and unwaveringly develop the two countries' relationship. This was an interesting part, no matter how diplomatic situations change in the future. He also acknowledged that this was the 100th anniversary of the UAE's foundation and its development plans that go beyond oil. He stated that South Korea is a key partner in this great journey for the UAE.
Right.
And then on the other side, President bin Zayed Al Nahyan said he's delighted that President Lee chose the UAE as the first country in his Middle East tour. The president also acknowledged the Baraka power plant that South Korea recently exported and how such cooperations, they set up the foundation for future partnerships, as well as the UAE's first homegrown satellite, which apparently South Korea contributed with technological collaborations.
Yes, and the two sides signed multiple agreements, I hear.
Right, so the two countries signed 7 MOUs, Memoranda of Understanding, following the summit. This includes agreement to cooperate on the nuclear power plant technology, again, so-called the Baraka model. It mentions the joint venturing into the global market by the two nations.
Right.
Artificial intelligence, biohealth, and intellectual property, as well as space technology cooperation.
Sure.
So this joint declaration that came at the end of the summit also stipulates that the two countries will launch, as you said, the 100-year partnership.
Yes. So what lies ahead for day 3?
Right, so it's business day for President Lee Jae-myung today. He will attend a business table event along with South Korean delegation, including Samsung Electronics Chair Lee Jae-yong, Hyundai Motors Chair Jung Hee-sun, and Hanwha Vice President Kim Dong-kwan, and many more. And then he will pay a visit to the unit, which is a Korean unit dispatched to the UAE. And finally, that'll be the last stop in the UAE, where he will travel to Cairo, Egypt.
That's right. And now for another international story, we're going to talk about the conflict that has been building up between China and Japan.
So buckle down. This is also an extensive story. So tensions have been growing between Beijing and Tokyo over Taiwan to the point that the Chinese government has advised its citizens against traveling in Japan. We've mentioned 한할령, right? This kind of anti-Korean sentiment. Now, some outlets are saying 한일령, this anti-Japan order has come down. So it started back on November 7th, when Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi, during a parliamentary committee, said that if China conducts a naval blockade or other military action against Taiwan, that would actually constitute a survival-threatening situation for Japan. And that could be grounds for a Japanese military response. Of course, not military, self-defense forces.
Right.
But what's notable about this is the strongest statement ever by, or at least by any recent Japanese prime minister regarding Taiwan and China. At least none of our predecessor publicly announced how Japan would respond to China's threats to Taiwan.
Yes.
Takaichi, for herself, she's been quite hawkish, especially when it comes to China and Taiwan. And although she has softened quite a bit in other foreign policy, including China, some pundits are saying this China-Taiwan comment may be geared towards her internal support base.
I see, but this, of course, is such a touchy issue for China and Taiwan as well. But how did Beijing respond?
Right, so naturally caused a lot of outrage in China across all levels of government, not to mention the general public. So there was a diplomatic spark, let's say, and there might still be. For one, the Chinese consul general in Osaka posted on his social media page something along the lines of how dirty heads should be cut off. Oh. Right, so is that a threat on life to a certain someone? That post has since been deleted, but enough people saw it.
Yes.
And China and Japan's foreign ministries summoned each other's country's respective ambassador to lodge complaints. China about interference in Taiwan and Japan about that particular social media post.
Yes. And China, as you said, even issued some statements to its citizens.
Right. So it has been wielding its huge tourist population, as we've seen in South Korea in the past. The Chinese government advised its citizens to not travel to Japan. Again, how big is it? We're talking about 7.5 million tourists that visited Japan in the first 9 months of the year. Huge revenue.
Yes.
China's education ministry also followed up with a warning to students on Sunday about recent crimes against Chinese nationals in Japan, though it didn't advise them not to go, but just to be careful.
Okay.
Prime Minister Takaichi later refused to retract her remarks, but also told the same parliamentary committee 3 days later that she would avoid talking about this specific scenario in the future.
I see. Well, yesterday, there was a meeting between the diplomats from the two countries.
Right, and a photo. It does speak, it's worth 1,000 words.
Oh, yeah.
So in the picture, you see the director for Asian Affairs at the Chinese Foreign Minister, Liu Jin-sung, meeting with his Japanese counterpart, Kanai Miyazaki, in Beijing. Excuse me. Director Liu apparently lodged its strong complaints about Takaichi's comments and how it seriously violates international law and principle of one China policy, and that could fundamentally damage China-Japan relations.
Indeed. And, actually, footage from, after this meeting has been circulating online. And so
that might be quite telling because body language, right?
Yes.
You see Director Liu, the Chinese director, with his hand in his pocket. And he's looking down at Director Kanai, who has his head down.
Yes.
Of course, this was posted, keep in mind context, on Chinese state media, CCTV's social media account. The footage is real, but it's snippets of what could have been a longer interaction, but you can see what kind of image China wants to portray.
Oh, yes. And, this conflict, it goes way beyond Taiwan, it seems.
Right. And now Okinawa, Japan, is involved in the story because this area, there are also historical territorial disputes between China and Japan. More specifically, within Okinawa, there are the same island but different names, Senkaku or Diaoyu Islands. These are a group of uninhabited islands. Japan rules over them as a part of Okinawa, but the islands are claimed by China and also Taiwan as well. Complicated.
Yes.
But on Sunday, the Chinese Coast Guard said that its ships patrolled the islands or the waters of the Senkaku Diaoyu, and they used military drones as well. And China's statement said that the patrol was lawful to uphold its rights and interest.
Yes. And somehow, Tokdo got involved as well.
This is a final bit, but
Right.
it shows how complicated, extensive this story is. So with tensions growing, China made a rare mention of Tokdo islets indirectly, showing its support for South Korea. So a spokesperson for the Chinese Foreign Ministry said that Japan's, quote, multiple malicious phrases and actions have prompted protests from surrounding nations. That was in reference to South Korea's foreign ministry recently having lodged complaints about Japan's territorial claims over Tokdo.
Wow, what a whirlwind. Interesting, convoluted, but very important to cover. So thanks for going over all the details. And we'll check in with you in hour number 2. Thank you, Haley.
See you back then.
All right, we have a song request. This is from Taejin, Baria by Lee Hong-gi.
가슴 시린 기억만 남게 했나봐 네 눈에 고인 눈물도 모르고 애써 외면했다는 게 후회가 돼 그땐 어려서 그땐 몰라서 널 아프게 했나봐 이젠 알지만 너무 늦은 건가 봐 너만 보인단 말이야 널 사랑한단 말이야 눈을 감아도 너만 보인단 말이야 너만 부른단 말이야 널 사랑한단 말이야 입을 막아도 너만 부른단 말이야 바보 같은 사랑에 아파서 이기적인 사랑만 내게 줬나봐 사랑했다는 한마디 못하고 그저 바람만 봤던 게 후회가 돼 미안하단 말 사랑한단 말 들을 수가 없는데 이제 와서야 내게 소리치잖아 너만 보인단 말이야 널 사랑한단 말이야 눈을 감아도 너만 보인단 말이야 너만 부른단 말이야 널 사랑한단 말이야 입을 막아도 너만 부른단 말이야 내겐 미칠 것 같은 사람 내겐 죽을 것 같은 사람 지독한 상처에도 너야만 하니까 너만 찾는단 말이야 널 사랑한단 말이야 매번 숨어도 너만 찾는단 말이야 너만 그린단 말이야 널 사랑한단 말이야 가슴 저리게 너만
It's time for Now and Next. Lian's here.
Good morning.
Is it?
We try to be when it's a bad morning.
It is. It's Wednesday. It's really cold. 너무
It's super
추워요.
cold. It's
It
like
is.
cold in your house to the point where your fingertips and your toes are freezing now.
I turned on the boiler. 틀었습니다.
아, 거실에도요? Because I
네.
haven't done it in the 거실 yet.
I did.
Oh, okay.
I did early this morning because I was getting ready and I'm like,
네.
it's a little chilly.
It's too chilly.
Let's turn it on. So our text topic today is about going back to your school days. So did you ever skip class or did you doze off, whether it's in high school or college?
I did skip school and I ended up going to the police
Excuse me?
in the U.S.
What happened?
Okay, so after, when you get admitted to college, no one studies in the U.S. And
Second
your
semester is like nobody
senior
here.
year is when you just party,
Yeah.
basically. And we were like, let's skip class and go to the beach.
Oh, nice.
Like my friend's gonna drive, and all 5 of us got into a car. But my friend who was not good at driving, we got into a 오중충돌 사고 at the highway. How do you say that in English?
Like a five-car collision?
5-car collision, and we were on
Really?
the 5th car. And the airbag popped and everything. And then
That's
the police
serious.
came and they were like, why are you out here? Do you have parents' permission?
Oh my
You guys are
gosh.
underage.
Oh my gosh.
Blah, blah, blah. And then, wow, we actually got on the police car and there was like rifles on the back of the car. And me and my friend were like, can we touch this? We're like, 정신 차려. 지금 뭐 하는 거야?
Can we touch
We were
the
like,
gun?
We were like, oh my gosh, there's like a crazy gun in the back of the car. Yes. And thankfully, nothing happened. And we still got admitted to our colleges.
Because it could have gone bad.
That was the one thing that we were all scared about.
Yeah.
But we didn't have like something in our record forever, or
I can't imagine Lian and like cutting class and then like getting into an accident.
I was so scared. I was
Yes.
just like, but yeah.
So
That's
now we
what
know.
happened.
All right, her bad streak. What are we talking about today?
Yes. So, can you believe we're going to talk about some fashion trends that's coming back? The leopard is coming back.
Or what did they? Leopa드?
Leopard is coming back.
Oh.
So this is a personal experience that I had just yesterday. Before I knew that I was going to be talking about the leopard trend, is I went to the swaka, the kids doctor,
Pediatrician?
with my, what's wrong with my brain today?
It's okay.
And I saw like literally 3 moms with a leopard tote bag.
A tote bag.
It's such and it was like the same exact brand.
Oh, really?
And I was like, 저 사람 아까 봤는데, 또 살. So everyone had like the 2 of them were the same brand and one was different. So I was like, I guess leopard is in, but it is.
Apparently, our little Tweety bird, aka 예지 PD님, saying the leopard print nails are so hot right now. Yes.
Would you want to try that?
I've tried it before.
Oh, you have? I've never tried
Back
that.
in the day, but on my toes. For a pedicure.
Oh, wow.
I was like,
it's a little bit of like, on
like,
your toes.
but with the toes.
I have a little bit of a personality down there.
A cat down there, right? But yeah. Well, I'm glad I kept all my leopard print, stuff.
That's
then.
what I was going to say because I threw it out.
Oh, you did?
Shit.
I have
They
a
all
pair of
come
shoes.
back, right?
Leopard print shoes that I wore
Flats.
on my
No.
heels from my
Heels?
very first date.
My. Oh,
With
this
my
is
roommates.
like it's you kept it because not a fashion because it's like a 추억의 item.
Like a little memento.
Yeah, of course.
근데 it's leopard print, so it's like. 근데 지금은 못
꾸미고
신어.
다니셨네요.
그때는 그랬죠. Yes. So,
Yes.
where is this leopard print? Like, when did it have its like heyday? Like, how did it begin?
So it basically exploded all the way back in 1950s and 60s.
Ooh, okay.
When the Hollywood actresses, they started wearing leopard print as a symbol of elegance and glamour. And, to show a little bit of rebellion. But for decades after, leopard was treated as this, fashion statement. It's chic to some people, but to others, maybe too much. But this Y2K nostalgia, right, has brought leopard roaring back these days.
I like it. Roaring back.
It's roaring back to us. And the fashion applications on it, it says the items like for the keyword leopard, it's a 2.5 times increase. And the word in leopard in Korean is 호피, right?
아, 맞아요.
The 호피 search for that also rose by 20-50%. And searches for specifically what kind of products, it's 호피 가방. So that's why I saw those 호피 tote bags. And the leopard shoes.
The flats though, right?
Yeah, the flats.
Yeah.
But you're the heels.
Yeah.
And then the 호피 모자.
모자까지요?
호피 모자? I don't know what. I don't know how. I haven't seen one yet.
No.
But they're going up. And their sales are almost up 800%. So,
wow.
What do you say? Do you feel like bringing back leopard into your closet as well?
Well, maybe
Leopard?
flats. I can go with leopard flats.
Yes.
I can see that. I have a couple I have this leopard pantsuit that I can't throw away because it's like 너무
Leopard pantsuit? I don't
It's a
get it.
pantsuit. Like it's connected.
Oh.
It's like a what? 근데 화장실 가기 너무 불편해서 못 입겠어요. Because you gotta like take off the whole thing.
Right.
So it's like I have it and I wore it like once several years ago, but I'm like it's back in fashion, but I don't think I can wear it again.
Leopard pants.
이젠 좀 그래요.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes, so we all have those little bit of leopard in our closet.
Yes.
And so the point for the MZs though, instead of the full leopard outfits, they're kind of using these small point items instead. Like I said, I talked about the hat.
Yes.
About the cardigan also, but it's also about like a pair of shoes, a hairband.
Okay.
So it's not really
Like a full-on.
It's not a full on.
Yes.
And it used to be like this symbol of 센 언니. 센 언니의 상징이었잖아요. But it's kind of like just give it a bit of a point to your fashion.
네.
And the journalists have been testing this shift themselves. There's been reporters who styled an entire FW look around a one simple leopard ribbon shoulder bag.
Oh.
Yes, but everything else is just, chic looking.
Okay.
And the leopard, it blended naturally into daily office outfits, adding just the right amount of edge. So even with the formal looks, like the winter coats and tweed jackets,
Yes.
if you just put a little bit of dash of leopard,
Just a little though.
it's stylish. 그냥 포인트만 딱 주면
네.
MZ다. 뭐 약간. That's kind of the thing, the trend right now.
Okay. So thank you for telling us about 호피, the leopard print coming back.
Yes.
All right, what's next?
The next is something that I want to be putting into my closet personally. It's a 김장조끼.
Hello, what?
김장조끼? Well, a vest that you put on, typically grandmas, to make kimchi during the kimjang season.
Oh, I wish we had a visual so we could show her.
Oh,
we
we
have
do.
one. Oh,
Yeah.
but they're so cute.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Oh, come on now.
I swear that left one with Karina, that's brand. That's like a major brand. Don't you think the color combination is so 고급져? Or is it because the model
It's
is
because
the
it's
idol?
her.
It's
her.
because it's her.
It's she,
And
yeah.
Jenny,
Oh, yeah.
저 김장조끼 저렇게 예쁘다고? Vintage?
And they're going nowhere near kimchi. Come on.
Their fingers smell like perfume.
No.
Nothing like garlic.
They're like, oh, kimchi, no.
우리는 그냥 jealous한 사람들, jealous한 아줌마들.
Right. We're not jealous. We're just, we're just
just saying
fact-checking. Right.
Yeah.
They're not making kimjang.
They're
right?
not.
Okay.
They may be taking a relaxing time at the farm rural side though.
Right.
Yes. So it's coming back. This should I say it's in now? It's
in,
never
right.
been in before.
I was going to say, was it ever in?
I know it was never the thing.
Right.
But so this basically for people who cannot see our YouTube page.
Yeah, like, just
basically
explain,
it's
like-
a flower pattern quilted vest. One that typically a lot of people would say it's 촌스러워. But is now hip. So it's one of the hottest MZ fashion pieces of the year. Search volumes for this quote-unquote 김장조끼 and related terms hit 100, which is a maximum possible score in data
Wow.
scoring for a certain fashion platform. And sales have been consistently rising, and it's actually ranked up in the bestseller category.
Are you getting one?
I don't know, but I've always been on my bucket list to go Chongkangsu with my friends.
Oh,
and then we're not gonna do any kimchi stuff. We're just gonna relax. But I want to wear the 할머니 배바지 and the 김장조끼 and take a picture. That's my bucket list.
That's actually, yeah. My sister and I, we were talking about doing this too. And then she signed me up to make real kimchi this Saturday.
Oh,
I don't know. 동생 of mine, are you going to give me the 조끼 as well?
Yeah, are you
With
gonna make me hip?
the red rubber gloves up to here?
Oh, that's gonna be cute.
No,
Oh.
no.
Not when you're actually working.
Not when we're working. If we're like going out, you know, and having fun, or I don't know, maybe the privacy of our home and taking photos, maybe.
Yes.
우리 PD님 자꾸 뭐를 올리네요. 우리 할머니 집에 많은데 제가
어머.
입으면 그냥 김장하는 사람일까? 갖다 주실래요? PD님?
갖고 오세요. 우리 다 같이 김장조끼 데이 어때요? We're now and next. The corner
Okay, now
that tells people what's in
Yes.
physically.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
We
너무
have
좋을 것
to.
같아요. We need it.
Yes. So let's talk about why this 김장조끼 is becoming a fashion statement. There's basically two major cultural trends behind this. One, 촌캉스, like I said, the rural vacation boom. So young people are really embracing this farmland, mountain, and quiet villages as escapes from urban life
Sure.
these days. So with that comes an affection for rural aesthetics, such as the gingham prints, the earthy fabrics, and of course the 김장조끼, which are most of the times the quilted, floral, very colorful vests. And the second reason is what's called a 할매니al trend. 할머니 and millennial
Oh my
combined
gosh.
할매니al trend. So young people are embracing the 할머니 감성.
Oh.
할머니 in English is grandma.
Yeah.
The grandma sentiment. So we're thinking about flower patterns, what we typically imagine grandmas wearing in the countryside.
Right,
Flower
right.
patterns, patchwork quilts. They always have like some retro ceramics in their house. So it's a bit of nostalgia, and they're kind of playing along with that. And you know, it's like we had the photos up ahead.
And we have another photo.
We do.
Yes.
Oh, you
this
have
is-
to do that for your little kitties.
This is Haley. Oh, okay. Whenever I thought our producer, she wrote something. She said, pick a picture of Haley's friends. I thought it was the friend wearing. It's a friend's cat wearing. Oh, that's so cute.
I want that exact cat and that exact jockey.
I know, but
That
my
is
cats,
so
they will
adorable.
not sit still for me to put on that 조끼. So they will run away.
Oh,
너무
that pink
귀엽다.
is so cute.
Yes.
Yes, I was just going to talk about that because even pets are getting on the trend because we all love our pet
Right.
clothes.
Yes.
So there's like brands that typically make clothes for humans. They've been releasing a dog version of the 김장조끼. And they've been doing they've been selling it at the COEX pop-up and, you know, at some conventions, and they've been selling out fast.
That's why I was at COEX over the weekend.
And you saw the
I
김장조끼?
saw the and I was just like, to me,
For the kids? For the kittens?
for the pets, and
For
I was
the
kind of like,
pets.
oh, that is like too much. Like with my daughters, I was like, 그 좀 너무 좀 오버. 근데
누가?
입으니까 너무 예쁜데요. 입히니까.
맞아요.
it's
너무
kinda
귀엽다.
I get it now.
You have to put them on for your kids when you go
Okay,
김장
okay.
this Saturday.
This Saturday.
Yes. So the price range is as low as 5,000, but they
Yes.
can be very pricey and 고급져 to price up at 40,000 won for a pet 김장조끼. So a lot of people are really into this 김장조끼 because it signals warmth, but a lot of a retro sensibility.
Yeah,
right.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah, so it's the MZ generation really embracing this fashion, and I think the point there is
Yes.
though, if you want to put on a 김장조끼 and you don't want to look like a harmony,
Yes.
we have to have full on makeup.
Yeah.
Especially like me at
fun.
my age, it's 그냥 하면 안 돼요.
안 되죠, 안 되죠.
Like the
예의가 아니에요.
red lips and the eyeliner 하고 하면 뭐 예쁠 수도 있을 수도.
We want photos.
I'll do it
Okay. So if
with
you do,
my
when you do.
mother-in-law because she's making kimchi this season.
All right. Well, thank you for all the fun trends. And of course, people were so like waggling on our chat board, going on. And I've never seen so many in my life with the both topics. But we'll check in with you next week, okay? Bye-bye. Everybody, this was Lian with, of course, Now and Next. It is time to wrap up hour number 1. We have a song request. This is from Benny, 와르르 by Cold. Enjoy. I'll be back at 8.
가만 보면 너는 진짜 너무해 때론 날 무심하게 내빼 예친 채 불안함이란 벌을 내려줘 그럴 때면 난 길을 잃은 강아지가 돼 고개를 푹 숙인 채 건네 그냥 난 내 품에 안겨있고 싶은데 날에서 너의 말들에 찔려서 피가 나서 난 근데 걱정은커녕 혼자 낳는 법을 너는 알려줘 그러다가도 헷갈리게 가끔은 예쁨을 내게 줘 그럴 때면 나는 어떻게 해야 될지 몰라 난 와르르 무너지고 말은 나의 맘은 와르르 내게 이루어진 my baby 없는 하루는 상상하기조차 싫은걸 아무것도 할 수 없을걸 난 바보가 돼버릴 거야 baby 와르르 무너지고 말은 나의 맘은 와르르 내게 이루어진 my baby 없는 하루는 상상하기조차 싫은걸 아무것도 할 수 없을걸 난 바보가 돼버릴 거야 분명히 나는 얘기했어 그날 너에게 사랑을 말할 때 어떤 순간들이 우리를 찾아와도 흔들리지 않기로 해 근데 넌 파도를 타듯 내 맘을 마구 잊었네 날 가라앉지 않게 구명조끼라도 줘 사랑은 나를 시험해 난 밀린 숙제 검사만 해 도저히 못 풀겠을 땐 그냥 너가 좀 알려줘 yeah. 정답을 알게 됐을 땐 환한 미소를 내게 줘 나를 정신 못 차리게 만들어줘 난 와르르 무너지고 말은 나의 맘은 와르르 내게 이루어진 my baby 없는 하루는 상상하기조차 싫은걸 아무것도 할 수 없을걸 난 바보가 돼버릴 거야 baby 와르르 무너지고 말은 나의 맘은 와르르 내게 이루어진 my baby 없는 하루는 상상하기조차 싫은걸 아무것도 할 수 없을걸
계십니까? 위탁급식과 도시락 전문기업 더 좋은 푸드에 맡겨보십시오. 운영비 절감 효과 확실합니다. 식대는 협의 후 맞춰드립니다. 지역 부산 경남 051-784-0877 051-784-0877
혹시 지금 운전 중이신가요? 어린이 교통사고 피해자 수는 지난 3년 평균 약 9만 명. 특히 어린이 보호구역 안전기준이 강화된 이후에도 어린이 보호구역 내 사고는 지속적으로 발생하고 있습니다. 스쿨존에서는 반드시 시속 30km 이하 서행, 스쿨존 내 불법 주정차 금지, 차량 출발 전 앞뒤 좌우 살피는 습관으로 어린이가 안전한 도시를 만듭니다. 참, 운전 중 휴대전화 사용은 모두에게 위험합니다. 우리 모두를 위한 교통안전, 나부터 실천하면 모두가 안전해집니다. 어린이가 안전하게 뛰어놀 수 있는 부산. 아이 키우기 좋은 도시는 우리 모두의 미래이자 희망입니다. 이 캠페인은 어린이가 안전한 부산을 만드는 은행, B&K 부산은행과 함께합니다.
Brr! It's freezing outside. Let's crank up the heat.
Wait, you don't have to. Lowering the temperature by just 2 degrees can save a lot of energy.
2 degrees? That small change really matters?
You'd be surprised. If 10% of Korean households lower their heating by just 2 degrees, the effects are like planting about 350,000 trees a year.
That's magical. Then I'll just bundle up instead.
Smart move. Try wearing some thermal underwear or warm socks.
Plus, when you go out, don't turn the heater off completely. Set it to away mode or 외출 mode.
That way, it uses less fuel than turning it off and reheating the whole place later. Turn down the heat, but not your warmth.
This campaign is brought to you by BEFM, 부산영어방송.
부울경의 미래, 부산, 울산, 경남 방송발전협의회 운영위원장 성현우입니다. 북극 항로의 핵심지는 어디일까요? 대한민국 해양 수도권 부산, 울산, 경남입니다. 북극 항로를 품고 세계로 부산, 울산, 경남이 하나로 뭉칩시다.
The time is now 8 o'clock.
Welcome back. It's 8 o'clock. This is Spotlight News. South Korea wins annulment in Lone Star dispute. An international dispute settlement arbitrator has ruled in favor of South Korea in the case against private equity fund Lone Star over its 2012 sale of the Korea Exchange Bank, according to Prime Minister Kim Min-seok yesterday. The International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes, or ICSID's annulment committee, has nullified the earlier decision that ordered South Korea to pay Lone Star $216.5 million in compensation plus interest, Kim said in a briefing. Lone Star in 2012 filed and won a suit claiming that Seoul interfered with the sale of the Korea Exchange Bank, resulting in $4.67 billion in losses. South Korea in 2022 appealed the ICSID ruling and requested an annulment over procedural violations. South Korea and UAE declare 100-year partnership. President Lee Jae-myung and United Arab Emirates, or UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, met for a summit on Tuesday local time and adopted a joint declaration on deepening bilateral ties for a 100-year partnership. The two countries also signed 7 memoranda of understanding, or MOUs, aimed at boosting trade and investment, and strengthening collaboration in strategic sectors, including artificial intelligence, aerospace technology, and nuclear energy, according to the presidential office. President Lee was welcomed with top-level honors, including a 21-gun salute at the presidential palace, where the two leaders sat down for 57 minutes and discussed ways to expand upon their comprehensive economic partnership agreement signed last year. Seoul says it bears no malintent toward North Korea. The presidential office said yesterday that South Korea has no hostile intent toward the North, following Pyongyang's denouncement of the Seoul-Washington fact sheet on trade and security agreements. Earlier in the day, North Korean state media issued commentary saying that South Korea building nuclear-powered submarines with U.S. approval will lead to a nuclear domino in the region. South Korean presidential spokesperson Kang Yoo-jung released a statement responding that Seoul will continue to work consistently toward easing inter-Korean tensions and restoring trust between the two Koreas. Men's national football team beats Ghana 1-0. The South Korean men's national football team finished their final match of 2025 with a 1-0 win against Ghana at Seoul World Cup Stadium last night. The team, under head coach Hong Myung-bo, put in a lackluster performance without many scoring opportunities. Defender Lee Tae-seok scored the only goal in the 63rd minute. The Taeguk Warriors now have 3 consecutive wins, having beat Paraguay and Bolivia 2-0 respectively, and effectively confirmed they'll be in Pot 2 for the 2026 World Cup group stage draw. UN Security Council approves Trump's Gaza plan. The United Nations Security Council passed a U.S. drafted resolution of President Donald Trump's 20-point plan for Gaza, including the establishment of an International Stabilization Force, or ISF. 13 nations endorsed the resolution. Russia and China, which have veto powers, abstained from the vote. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres heralded the adoption of the resolution as an important step in the consolidation of the ceasefire. Israel welcomed the resolution, with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying that it will lead to peace and prosperity. Hamas, however, has rejected the resolution on grounds that it fails to meet Palestinians' rights and demands. And this was Spotlight News. It's time for wa글와글. Haley's back.
I'm here to spill the tea.
Yes. All right, so this first story, Kakao's latest update is under scrutiny again, but this time it's about location sharing.
Right, and this is with the Kakao Map, the map and navigation app. And I have a question for you, our waivers, our Tweety word. Would you want to share your location with your significant other, spouse? Would you want to know their location at all times?
No.
And I'm okay.
Oh, sorry.
I'm getting a resounding no to my right, and then a no with the 6 O's. And then she wants to know the other person's location.
Like, I don't want to give my location.
That's unhealthy.
It is not a two-way street, right?
Interesting. All right. So, Kakao Map had made updates to its location sharing, or 친구 위치 feature. So users can share their location, and they could with their friends before, and of course with consent. And then you can even do short little chats on the map. Previously, that had a 6-hour maximum. After a 6-hour maximum, it would automatically end.
Okay.
But with the latest updates, it's unlimited.
Oh.
Yeah, so the function has been extended. You can hide your location temporarily or exit that group in which you're part of the location sharing. So on its notification that it sends with the updates, Kakao said that this function can be used to watch your loved ones coming home, check the location of your significant other or friends. And you can also make groups with running crews, hiking groups, and then you can all kind of check in with where each other is. I mean, I've used this, not the Kakao, but I had friends from out of the country visit, and they were like, oh, we're at this specific cafe in Gwangan, and just sent me their location. And that was my first time because it is very common in the US and other countries. And I was like, oh, this is a thing.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes. So, how have people responded to this function?
Right. So some positive, because if you think about it, if you have someone who might be in a vulnerable group, so maybe an elder family member who may have cognitive function disorders, right?
Okay.
A child, or something like that, it can check in on their safety. That's a good thing. Privacy issues.
Yes.
Still very much relevant. Plus, we have some social pressure. Yes, you can technically and also technologically not consent or leave the group to, get out of that location sharing.
Right.
But then what if you're in a situation where your consent wouldn't matter?
Right.
Or somebody could ignore that. Controlling relationship, whether it be romantic or family, because parents can't, guardians, parental figures can be controlling. There's also criticism. What if your boss, you're going out on a wagon, you're going out on like a business trip, and they're like, turn on your location.
Oh, gosh.
And they're like, why are you at the coffee shop?
Because I was thirsty.
Because I have to deal with you anyways.
Because I had something in my throat.
Exactly. Yes. So a lot of discussions to be had.
Oh, yes, indeed. All right, let's get to our next story. This is all related to the CSAT College Scholastic Ability Test related WAGLI story. So
it is time to clamor about the CSATs because the complaint or objection lodging period just ended for this year's CSAT exams.
Okay.
Many of them have to do with the marker, like the pen. Right. So the CSATs, for a bit of reference, they provide all of the writing utensils for the test takers, fear of cheating. This includes the mechanical pencil and also the computer, we call it sign pen, but like the water-based marker to fill out the OMR or the bubble sheets.
Right.
However, according to the Korea Institute of Curriculum and Evaluation, KAIS, as of Monday 6 p.m., when the CSAT complaint period ended, 101 complaints were lodged about the marker.
About the 검사 pen?
About the 검사. So the affected areas with the complaints, Seoul and Gyeonggi, and the pens there were all manufactured by Dongha Gyoje Corporation. All students are saying, or the 101 students are saying, that their marker dripped. So it just, so they have to change the test bubble sheet to fill them out again, or they just had smudges all over. And this is the first time that such issue with the marker at least happened.
Wow. So what's going to happen? Will the students be able to get this problem fixed?
Right, because the first problem is if there are other smudges or marks or drip marks on the testing bubble sheet, then the machine might not be able to read it.
Sure.
In that case, we do have safeguards like human eyes can read through. But if there were issues with students having had to waste time, spend time filling out an extra sheet, unfortunately, we can't turn back the clock. So that's
so unfair.
This is very incredibly unfair. Again, this exam happens once a year. It is a big deal.
And then, as always, there is issues or an issue with some of the questions, and one in particular that have been kind of making the rounds.
English was kind of a hot button issue this year. Number 24 on the English portion. And when I was looking up, because I was trying to find the full question, I was like, 수능 영어, and the autofill was 24번, 24. So this is an issue.
Right.
So this question gives you a passage, and you have to pick an answer that would best suit the title of the passage. And I'm going to abbreviate it. It's about economic benefits of culturetainment. And because we are an English broadcasting, whatever, we're going to try out.
We're Morning Wave in Busan, by the way. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, it is up there.
We're going to have to zoom in. But I'm going to give you the paraphrased version.
Okay.
All right. So, such commercialization so the passage about economic benefits of culturetainment, developing these huge profile events, but such commercialization risk culturetainment becoming homogenous and losing its original message that could lead to a dilution of audiences. How this is something that planners need to balance against potential financial gain.
Okay.
That's the summarized version, the Haley Notes version. So which title would suit this passage best? A, the commercialization of culture and its unexpected benefits. B, cash or soul, ? When culture couples with entertainment. C, culturetainment, an ambition of entertainment to be a culture. D, new cultures, ! The poisonous fruit of culturetainment. Final choice E, why balanced investments matter in the entertainment industry. F, I don't know. I give up.
So I was listening, and then I was like, right away, like the first and the last one, I was just like, nope, instantly
Process of
off.
elimination.
Right. I don't know.
Because, okay, the answer is B. Cash or soul when culture couples with entertainment. Now that you have the answer in front of you.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the problem. Why there are so many issues lodged with the question. The expressions, the words cash nor soul, they do not appear in the passage. And students are saying that this is then against the principle of test question making.
Okay.
And then some are also saying that D, new cultures, the poisonous fruit of culturetainment is the most appropriate answer. If you're paraphrasing, the whole homogenous issue, commercialization could be poisonous fruit. This particular question had over 400 objections.
Whoa. So what happens next?
Well, now the hair pulling period begins for the test makers and the authorities. So KAIS is going to select the objections and they will go through the assessment process. The final answers will be announced next week on the 25th. So we will know then.
Okay, we'll give you an update on that.
Oy.
So this goes to show you, though, how important every single question of this exam is, because it's just like one question is going to make or break you. So this next story has to do with our text topic. We were probably scolded, not I, but, or at least, sorry, I'm so sorry, or at least woken up if we ever dozed off in class one time. Apparently, teachers don't feel like they have the authority to do this anymore.
All right.
I have a headache just thinking about this.
We're like just grabbing our heads.
Yes.
Okay, so when I dozed off during the movie in my 10th grade sociology class, my teacher gently came, tapped me on the shoulder, and I was like, so sorry.
Okay.
And then I didn't dare tell my mom because, oh my God.
Yeah.
The fire and oof. But now parents have gone the opposite way in the many years since I've been in school.
Yes.
So the mighty fear of complaints, the 민원, right? So this is from an online community post that was titled, I'm a teacher and I want to cry. So this teacher, elementary school teacher, had 3 students in one class. I had to wake up 2 of them from a little nap and told another kid who was sitting there without the textbook, hey, get your textbook out. Typical, I mean, not typical, but it happens. That's one of the reasons teachers are there, to provide guidance.
Okay.
One parent of the child who got woken up lodged a complaint.
Saying?
Like,
why'd you wake up my child?
Yeah.
No.
I really wish I'm making this up, but no.
Why did you wake up my sleeping child in your class?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God. And then here's the thing, because I'm of the personal opinion, I'm of the position that principals, managers, directors, cut that off. Like block that. Just say no. There are
There are rules. Yeah.
Just no.
Yeah.
But the teacher supervisor told the teacher, oh, maybe you should go console and comfort the child.
For what?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. So the teacher said, now I understand why my colleagues are kind of apathetic and let kids be, whatever, do what they want. So she's asking, would it have been better had I ignored the child? Well, maybe for this situation, but are we educating? What kind of lesson are we, trying to put onto our children if you're going to complain to the teacher about waking your kid up?
I have college students and I tell them first day of class, I smile, I say it nicely. I say, I don't care what your previous teachers or profs did. In my class, your eyes have to be open for you to be, marked here for attendance. And I say it nicely and I say, if you understand, I say it in English and Korean. Please nod. And I force them to nod. And they're like, oh,
Because they don't
okay.
respond.
Yeah, they don't respond, right?
No.
I said, please nod. And then they go, 네. And then so that's my rule. But anyhow, I guess I'm just like a 꼰대. All right, for our final story, it's about an unexpected coffee thief. What?
Yeah, so Yeongdeungpo police received a call on Sunday from a cafe. Hey, there is someone or something drinking out of my coffee cup.
What?
This something, a parrot.
앵무새, like
that parrot on our YouTube page. So the police went to the scene, found a parrot, weighed 500 grams, half a kilo, yellow forehead, red and blue feathers on the underwing. This is like a yellow-crowned Amazon parrot, native to the tropical areas. There are about 4,000 estimated to be left in the wild. It's classified as an endangered species, the most endangered species category.
Yes, and wow, I have a comment. Blanca님. Well, it looks like the bird had a hard day. 그래서 커피 마셨구나.
And maybe it was early in the morning, perhaps.
Where did the parrot come from? Do we know?
So that's what we're trying to figure out. The Korea Animal Rescue and Management Association, they suspect that this bird was probably a pet, lost or maybe even abandoned. They put up a post looking for the owner.
Right.
But here's the thing. Endangered species are not supposed to be owned as pets. So there's a about that. So if the owner doesn't show up, it'll go to the animal protection facility under the Environment Ministry. So we'll have to see about that. But again, I know these exotic pets have been popular, but there are laws and rules.
Please follow the laws.
Yes.
We're going to call it a day on the 와글와글 segment, and we'll check in with you tomorrow. Thank you, Haley.
Have a great day.
All right, let's get to your updated traffic and weather. It's time for your updated traffic. First up, there's an accident on Kayadero going towards Nakdong Bridge right in front of the Kamdam Patrol Station. It's been cleared, but there is still some backup. It's congested from Manduk intersection to Namhae Expressway Tokchon Ramp. It's also busy on Hakjanglo from Busan Detention Center to Hakjang intersection. And it's quite slow on Yeonsuro from Daesan Station to Shilli three-way intersection. Currently, it is 2 degrees. It's going to go up to 11 today. Across the nation, below freezing in many parts of the country. Afternoon highs will also be colder than average, and with a wind chill factor, it's going to feel much colder than it actually is. So parts of the central and Gyeongsang regions will see temperature differences of up to 15 degrees. Please take care of your health. This was your traffic and weather. It's time for a special interview today. You've probably heard the phrase, children are our hope for the future. Their curiosity, their energy, and unique ways of seeing the world truly make anything seem possible. But raising children well requires not just love or attention. It also demands vigilance to keep them safe from harm, especially from any form of violence or abuse. So today, November 19th, is observed as the World Day for the Prevention of Child Abuse. And on this occasion, we wanted to raise awareness and highlight the importance of creating a society where children are protected, valued, and free from harm. Joining us today is Professor Jeffrey Edelson, Distinguished Professor of the Graduate School, Spec Chair Emeritus, and former Dean of School of Social Welfare at the University of California, Berkeley. So let's say hi. Hi, welcome to the program, Professor.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, so if you could explain to our listeners and viewers, what are the main types of child abuse that are recognized today?
Well, we basically categorize child maltreatment as a large umbrella that then holds 4 different kinds of abuse: physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, and neglect. And by far the largest domain is neglect. And that's when we fail to meet the needs of a child, physical and emotional needs of a child. And then emotional abuse is often harder to determine, also neglect as well, because it's very value-based. Physical abuse and sexual abuse are much more direct and can be determined much more clearly in many cases.
I see. Well, Professor, I need to ask this because many people might have a question mark in their minds right now. What constitutes neglect? Because you're saying that is the most common type of maltreatment.
It's really failing to meet the child's basic physical and emotional needs. And so oftentimes it's coexists with poverty, where a family just can't take care of a child. And that's unfortunate because that's more based on the society's ability to support that family.
Yes.
But neglect can be where children are not bathed properly, not fed properly, aren't getting enough sleep, nutrition, all those things in a household. And that's by far the largest form of child maltreatment. But the ones that we see, the most extreme cases, are certainly the physical abuse and even more so sexual abuse of children.
Ah, yes, of course. And even when, for example, if a child is not harmed directly, but may witness violence, say between parents or guardians or just within the family, I'm sure can have really serious effects. So in your expertise, what about living in a house where there's a lot of violence? Could that be considered a form of maltreatment or even child abuse?
Certainly. And that's the area that I have focused my own research on over the last 30 years. And what we find is that children exposed, but not directly physically abused, but who are witnessing or exposed in other ways to violence in their home, many of them, if it's long-term, ongoing, show the same kinds of impacts as if they were directly physically abused. So it can be that. A lot of it depends on the family and the home and the social supports that they have. So different children will respond differently and be impacted differently by that exposure to violence. It's usually violence by a father, stepfather, mother's boyfriend against the mother.
Yes.
And then they're witnessing that or seeing the aftermath. They come home from school and their mother's been beaten up and they have to take care of their mother. And that's part of the larger sense of exposure. Or they might be in another room and just hear the fight going on and hear things breaking or mother being hit, but not actually see it.
Yes.
So witnessing is probably too narrow of a term to think of. It's being exposed to that experience of violence in their home, and it affects them in many different ways.
Right. And so when we see children who have witnessed or, as you say, been exposed to this type of domestic violence in their home, I'm sure it's horrifying. It's really scary for these kids. And they, I'm sure, stay silent out of fear. So we as adults, how can we better identify or even support these types of kids? What are some of the warning signs we should be looking for?
Yeah, well, it's very difficult sometimes to determine because sometimes clearly a child is physically abused and you see the marks, or they're being neglected, they're coming to school dirty clothes or with inadequate, your temperature is very cold right now.
Yes.
So coming without a jacket or something like that, or without proper shoes and to keep them warm. So those are clear signs. But often children who have been exposed to violence at home are some of your best students. Because at school, they can control their environment. It has rules. It's a stable environment where they can excel and they can achieve. and they can be free of that fear of violence in many cases.
Yes, yes.
And so sometimes they can be your best students.
Wow.
And that makes it much more difficult to identify them then.
I see. Well, I hear that some studies suggest that children may kind of internalize the roles of either the victim or even perpetrator at times. So what's your view on this?
Yeah. Well, the research that we have over the last 30 years indicates that some children internalize it. So they have anxiety, they have depression, sleeping disorders, eating disorders, and the like. And some children externalize. They become the bullies at school, become aggressive, hard to focus on their studies at school. Sometimes attention deficit disorder. I don't know if you have that in Korea, but
yes.
Sometimes those kids, because they can't focus because of the anxiety and the impact on them. And so often the internalizing happens more often with girls because girls in our society are taught to be nurturers and boys warriors. So there's a well-known article that girls are nurturers and are warriors and boys are warriors.
Yes.
And so boys externalize it. They become aggressive. They become bullies at school. They end up in their first relationships with girls being abusive, even in teenage relationships.
I see.
And so the children do internalize, but many children also externalize.
Yes.
And become future abusers as well.
It's just sounds like a vicious cycle. Yes.
Yeah, it can be, but I don't want to leave you with that thought because it really depends on the protective factors in a child's life.
Okay.
Sometimes a caring, battered mother can be a very strong protector of her children. Older sibling can be a protective person. Aunts and uncles, best friends, parents. Teachers, many young adults tell me that it was a teacher who knew what was going on and supported them at school. And so they had other models to live by and they don't end up growing up to be an abuser then or to be abused, be vulnerable to abuse as an adult.
Yes.
So it really depends on those protective factors and we try to strengthen those and we try to lower the risk factors in the household.
Right.
And that could be alcohol abuse, drug abuse by caregivers, mental health issues among caregivers. Those raise the risk for children. So we want to minimize the risks and enhance the protective factors in a child's life.
And now I do want to shift our attention to, parents out there who may be listening or, are guardians. In a broader perspective, some parents, I've certainly, witnessed, seen, other parents say, I'm simply disciplining my child. And for example, in our eyes, that seems kind of harsh, bordering gray area between disciplining and scolding versus being, not treating the child well, whether it be verbally or even spanking in some cases. Where is that line? It seems so gray to a layperson.
Yeah, it can be gray. I would argue that any physical discipline is inappropriate. But certainly as a parent, and I'm a parent of 4 children, you have to assert your authority at times, especially as they get older and become teenagers.
Right.
You need to guide them. And so I think that's important to do and to have consequences if they misbehave. But those consequences shouldn't be physical abuse or even spanking. I am against spanking as a form of discipline. I think the line for me is between physical and non-physical discipline.
I see. And as we wrap up our discussion today, we have one more question for you, Professor. So in terms of the support system or, even you talked about protective factor as well or interventions, what do you think has, in your expertise, is the most effective in helping children who might be in a home where there is domestic violence?
Well, many battered mothers and their children turn to friends and family first.
Yes.
And then informal networks like teachers, churches, and the like, people at church. And so I would say if you are aware of a child who's being exposed to domestic violence, to be very supportive of them, to be kind, to recognize that they're having a hard time and support them as much as you can, but also to try to connect them to counseling services that may be available in your area. So I think you are often the first, as a family friend, a coworker, a teacher at school, are the first people that victims of domestic violence and their children turn to.
Yes.
And for you to be supportive, believing them, and then helping them get the support they need, professional support they need.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today and having this meaningful conversation with our listeners. We appreciate your time, Professor.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. This is Professor Jeffrey Edelson, and we talked about, yes, indeed a heavy topic, but as we are marking World Day for the Prevention of Child Abuse, it was a conversation that needed to be had. So thanks to the professor. We're going to take a short song break as you kind of take all of that in. This is Home by Michael Bublé.
Summer day has come and gone away from Paris or Rome, but I wanna go home. Maybe surrounded by a million people, I still feel all alone. Just wanna go home. Oh, I miss you, And I've been keeping all the letters that I wrote to you, each one a line or two. I'm fine, baby, how are you? Well, I would send them, but I know that it's just not enough. My words were cold and flat, and you deserve more than that. Another aeroplane, another sunny place. I'm lucky, I know, but I wanna go home. I got to go home. Let me go home. I'm just too far from where you are. I wanna come home. I'm living someone else's life. It's like I just stepped outside when everything was going right. And I know just why you could not come along with me. This was not your dream, but you always believed in me. Another winter day has come and gone away in either Paris or Rome, and I wanna go home. Let me go home. And I'm surrounded by a million people. I still feel alone. Let me go home. Oh, I miss you, Let me go home. I'm done, I gotta go home. Let me go home. It'll all be alright. I'll be home tonight. I'm coming back home.
It's time for Work in Progress. I'm so excited to say hello to Jennifer. I fumbled the words. Work in Progress with Jennifer. She's here. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
You're in an chipper mood today.
Yeah, I'm in a good mood. I'm here.
Oh, okay. I was like, is there a particular reason?
And our listeners.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we dive into our topic, we have a text topic for you. Like back in your school days, did you ever skip class or did you kind of like doze off like during a particular, class?
Doze off many times.
Okay.
Because after lunch hour, you know how you get
That's
so
the worst.
sleepy.
Yeah, food coma.
And also when you're jet lagged, that makes it worse.
Right.
So yeah, we all have experience like that.
But did you skip class?
I don't remember skipping it.
I can't imagine you skipping it. For some reason, I feel like you went to every class. All right. Well, thanks for sharing. We're going to jump into Work in Progress. What is our topic for today?
I brought something fun, but rather deep. What many employees and business owners can probably relate to.
Okay. Which is?
There are many employees dream of quitting and starting their own business, while many entrepreneurs quietly wish they could just get a stable monthly check.
I mean, the grass is always greener on the other side.
I know.
Because, if you work, for a firm or a company, you're like, oh, I want my freedom. I want to do this. I want to do that. Like fantasizing, right? On the other hand, if you do own your own business, you don't have that kind of like
the freedom,
the stability though. Like 월급날.
Yeah.
저 월급날 좋아요.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I like it.
Because office workers, they always dream of having freedom and do their, opening their own business.
Yes.
But it's not always that simple, right?
I'm sure. And it's like, you always think like, I could do better than this person. But then if you really try it, it might not be so easy, right?
Yeah. And right now in Korea, we are seeing both trends at once.
Okay.
More people are launching startups, as you know, but we are also seeing many businesses closing.
That's true.
And it really shows how people chase freedom, but once they are in it, they realize how heavy the responsibility can be.
Okay. So what is driving everyday employees to dream about, I want to be an entrepreneur?
Okay. First, autonomy. Many workers, especially after the pandemic, want control over their time, their projects, and their environment.
Sure.
And secondly, income ceiling frustration. Even with the good performance, promotions and raises feel slow and so limited.
So slow.
Yeah, and so limited.
Yes.
And entrepreneurship seems like a good option, a good chance to break the ceiling. And third, identity. People want work that reflects who they are, their values, creativity, and lifestyle and all.
I'm sure, in theory, it makes sense. But once people start a business, they often realize it's not all freedom and all creativity. There's a lot of logistics that go into owning your own business.
Yeah, that's right. And many entrepreneurs tell me the hardest part is the mental load, the cash flow stress, because they got to pay people, right? And hiring decisions and endless problem solving crisis.
Right.
They miss the predictability of a salary, paid leave, and boundaries between work and life.
Yeah, so once again, it's like 남의 떡이 항상 커 보이잖아요. Always, right?
We all have experience, right? Yeah, it really does. And what makes this such a relevant workplace trend is that the expectations are tied to each role, they are shifting. This is shifting, and employees want more entrepreneurial freedom inside companies, and entrepreneurs want more stability in their ecosystems.
Very interesting. Do you think social media might be playing a role in this? Because there are so many no-tube videos saying like, oh, quit your job, and oh, if you want to start a business, like DM me and this is the way to go. Like I'll show you the way. There are so many of those
sounds so easy, right?
Right. And you're like, oh, if I send him a DM, is he going to, show me like the secret to his success?
All these success stories. And social media definitely glamorizes entrepreneurship. And people see the highlight reels or like postings, flexible schedules, successful launches, millions in revenue. Life is beautiful.
It seems that way.
But they don't mention the years of loss, debt, and emotional burnout. It creates a false expectation that entrepreneurship equals overnight success, which is rarely true.
Very rare. And on the flip side, some entrepreneurs, they realize they miss things like collaboration or like just the security of having a workplace, that corporate structure.
Oh, definitely. And there's research showing that former entrepreneurs often become a highly engaged employees when they return to corporate life because they bring perspective, resilience, and problem-solving skills. So it might be an idea to go back after some experience.
Maybe. And, we don't want to judge because, neither path is right or wrong. There are just different, I think, realities, right?
Oh, yeah, certainly. And the real insight is this. What people want isn't simply being a founder or being a leader or being an employee. They want meaning, autonomy, stability, and growth. Everybody wants that, right? But those desires don't always fit into one role.
True. I agree. But is there a middle ground?
Yes. And this is where workplace trends get interesting.
Okay.
Many companies are creating intrapreneurship programs where employees can build new ideas internally.
Okay.
Not externally. But some offer project-based work, flexible schedules, or multi-role career path. So workers can access entrepreneurial experiences without leaving their jobs.
Ooh. Okay. So it's a little bit of maybe having the best of both worlds. Maybe.
Yeah.
So that might be a great way, though, to keep the talent engaged, but without forcing them to choose, leaving the company and going out on my own.
Yeah.
But keeping them within the company and also,
they get this experience.
Right. But what about all the incentives, I don't know. Okay.
And meanwhile, entrepreneurs are also pushing for more predictable ecosystems like co-working networks, revenue sharing communities, government programs, or even fractional employment where founders take part-time job or part-time salaried roles to stabilize income.
Ooh, so it seems like it's not just one side, but both sides are kind of evolving to meet somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. And I think that's the future. Not employee versus entrepreneur, but more fluid pathways where people can move between the two depending on the season of life.
I see.
How things are going, yeah.
I kind of like this idea because it's you're not having to choose one or the other. It's not black and white, but the whole idea that our career doesn't have this one fixed identity.
Yeah, people are becoming more flexible with this idea. And understanding what truly motivates us is really important before making any decisions.
Okay.
So before starting your own business or before deciding to stay with one company for a lifetime, they got to ask this question.
Sure. But I do wonder, with all these shifts, these changes going on in the industry, what does the future look like? I mean, are we going to see even more people, leaving companies to start something on their own, or is it just going in a completely different direction?
Personally, I think we are moving toward a hybrid era.
Okay.
globally, fewer people see their career as a straight line now. I mean, instead of one company for 30 years, careers are becoming modular. A few years in corporate, maybe side hustle, maybe a startup, then back into a stable role again.
Okay. So maybe like your career is kind of like the seasons.
Yeah.
Like not changing like every year or like every 3 months, not like that. But I'm saying like different segments of your life, like a storyline, like journeys.
Yeah, and more fluid, right? And there's another trend, micro-entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Instead of quitting everything at once, people are testing ideas through small online businesses, freelance platforms, or digital products. It lowers the risks and let people explore their entrepreneurial identity without jumping off a cliff, because it can be quite risky, right?
Okay.
You can lose a lot of money.
Yes, and I think that sounds much more realistic than the whole like, tossing the resignation letter and just going out on a limb and starting a company like tomorrow. That might be real risky.
Yeah, that's right. And companies are adapting too. Many global firms now encourage side hustles with approval. That used to be a big no-no, right?
Right.
Because nowadays, because they know employees gain creativity and skills from those experiences. Even in Korea, more workplaces are acknowledging that employees have interests outside the office.
Yes.
And that's healthy.
So might the future be not choosing just like one side, but kind of, I don't know, designing your own career, as you said, with flexibility, a little fluidity?
Yeah, absolutely. The real trend is career fluidity.
Okay.
People want the freedom to shift, to post, to create, and the stability to survive while doing it. The more supportive the ecosystem becomes, the easier the movement will be.
I see. So if I were to ask you, what are the key takeaways from today's discussion, what would it be?
Well, whether you're dreaming of entrepreneurship or craving stability, pause and ask yourself why you want this. The desire usually comes from unmet values, not from the job title itself, not because you want to be called 사장님 or 대표님, or more flexible and human-centered workplace might help both employees and founders thrive.
So thank you for giving us a lot to think about. As some of us, we are racing towards our payday. Other people are dreaming.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Would you ever open your own business?
I actually did in my 20s.
Oh, really?
I had my own business. It was stressful because it wasn't a huge business, but I did have 7 employees. But I had, every payroll day, there was a little stress, because you got to make sure, of course, the finances are there. And, you always worry, like, am I being a good supervisor? Am I being a good boss?
Yeah.
And things like that. So it was a constant, and you can't leave your work at 6 p.m., like, physically maybe. But, you're always thinking about it constantly, even driving at home during the weekends, constantly thinking about it.
Yeah, thinking about it.
Yeah, like, what can I be doing better? It's a all-consuming kind of thing.
Yeah,
so.
It can be quite stressful.
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you for this lively discussion. And Tommy saying, just need freedom, no work. Tommy,
ideal.
That would be ideal. Then how would we earn money? So we'll check in with you next week, Jennifer.
Okay, we'll do. Bye-bye.
All right. It's time to wrap up today. It's hump day. It's really cold. I hope you're doing well. This is Love is All Around by Wet, Wet, Wet. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.
I feel it in my finger. I feel it in my toe. Love is all around me, and so the feeling grows. It's written on the wind, it's every my love. You can I see your face before me as I lay on my bed. I kinda get to thinking of all the things you said. Oh, yes, I did. You gave your promise to me, and I give mine to you. I need someone beside me in everything